Hi guys, so today I wanted to talk about a couple of graphic novels I've read recently, and these are both written by the filmmaker Kevin Smith, and there is run on Batman so far, starting with Cacophony, and then The Widening Gyre. Now he's written both of these, and the artwork is by Walt Flanagan, who has appeared in a lot of Kevin Smith's films, and you tell him Steve Dave, that guy, basically has drawn these books. Now, going into this, I was a little apprehensive. I'm a big Batman fan. Batman's my favourite superhero, and I've read quite a lot of Batman, and I like Kevin Smith, but I thought, will his writing style suit Batman? He suited Daredevil because Kevin Smith's Catholic, and Matt Murdock is like a lapsed Catholic, and that worked. But can Kevin Smith write for Batman? And I'd heard quite bad things about Cacophony going in. People said it was terrible, and the Widening Guy was vast improvement, but Cacophony was terrible. And I thought, well, can it be terrible? It's Kevin Smith. Anyway, I read Cacophony, which basically follows the plot of there's a drug causing deaths on the street of Gotham called Chuckles, which it was originally distributed by Maxi Zeus, and then the Joker got a hold of it, cut it differently, added chemicals, and it started killing people. That's basically the crux of the story. Also, there's a new character, almost like a serial killer, if you will, going around trying to kill Batman. This guy doesn't have a name, but he has like a penchant for onomatopoeia. He says the sounds of his knife cutting through people as he's doing it, so he'll be like slash and cut and weird shit like that. So he's, trying to basically fuck with Batman's day in the meantime. Now, this book, I have to say, I loved. I thought it was a fantastic read. It's only short. I mean, look, you can see how thick it is there, and it's kind of quick and dirty, and it's in and out, and it's kind of just shallow entertainment, but it's very well written. The dialogue's really good. Obviously, Kevin Smith is known for his dialogue, and it has some real standout moments that I think could go down in Batman history as just remarkable, memorable moments. One of which being the Joker blowing up a building full of school children. Just mercilessly showing no remorse whatsoever. That is the Joker. The Joker is a rabid dog. He's an animal, and that's how the Joker should be written. But the standout moment in this book, which I would love to see maybe Christopher Nolan tackle this scene in the third and final Batman movie, but it would never happen now because of the death of Heath Ledger. But there is a moment in this book where the Joker is in hospital and Batman talks to him and basically says, "Do you actually want to kill me? Why are we like loggerheads with each other constantly? Why have we always locked horns? Why can't we all just get along?" And the Joker, and this is a very well drawn scene as well. You can see Walt Flanagan's art. The Joker basically says, "Yes, I do want to kill you. I hate you with every ounce of my being. I want to destroy you." And Batman's very disappointed by that. I think Batman was hoping for a little reconciliation there with the Joker. And that is the absolute standout moment in the book. It's absolutely brilliant. I won't divulge any more than that because the dialogue exchange between the two characters is brilliant. You've got two icons of the DC universe. You've got Batman and the Joker, David and Goliath. These guys are just mortal sworn enemies. And to have them sat in a hospital ward having a conversation like that, it's far more dramatic and effective than any fight scene could ever be. And that scene comes about because Batman has the opportunity to kill the Joker but doesn't. And he basically, he thinks that by killing the Joker he would become as bad as the Joker and in essence lose his humanity. And I think to tackle those kind of grand, complicated themes in a book of this size and length is quite brave of Kevin Smith. And while it doesn't get the amount of time to really flesh that out as I would have liked, it makes the book a very interesting read. And to be honest, Cacophony, the negative reviews, I can't really understand them because I thought it's a fantastic book and it's probably one of my favourite Batman books, to be quite honest. And then we move on to the sequel, The Widening Gyre. Now, this is a book where I think it's a case of the concept works better than the book. It's basically about a new hero turns up in Gotham City called Baphomet. This is a guy who kind of dresses like a goat He comes into Gotham and starts fighting crime alongside Batman, well, parallel to Batman. They're not working together, and but this is at a time where Batman's looking for somebody to pass the torch to, and none of the Robins who he's had over the years really can do it. You know, he doesn't really trust them with the responsibility. And this Baphomet character comes along, and that's the character you can see on the cover there. This Baphomet character comes along, and Batman's like, yeah, this guy, I could possibly pass the torch on to this guy and have him, you know, he could protect Gotham from now on. Maybe I can hang up the cowl and cape and become Bruce Wayne for once. And I think this is a really interesting book. In the meantime, as well, there's the whole romantic arc when one of Bruce Wayne's love interests, Silver St. Cloud, comes back to Gotham, and they have chapters upon chapters of Bruce and Silver, you know, falling in love all over again and spending time in a remote island together, and etc, etc. That, I think, is stretched a bit thin. I think a bit too much time, obviously this book's a bit bigger than Cacophony, I think a bit too much time is devoted to their relationship. And I know why Kevin Smith does it. It becomes apparent in the very last few pages why he spent so much time building up their relationship, but I think you could have it just as effective while shaving off a couple of chapters. But basically, what I really like about this is you know, scenes where Batman and Baphomet actually stand and talk, and Baphomet's just like a normal guy, you know, he takes off his mask because he's not recognisable. Why wouldn't he take off his mask? He talks like a normal guy. He's like, you know, I decided to kind of pick up weapons and go out and fight crime like you. You're the man, you're the legend, you know, you've inspired me. And Batman thinks, you know, you're a rookie, you're an amateur, but you are more than capable. I think you have real potential. And the exchanges are very genuine, very real. You can imagine two real people talking to each other this way. And I really kind of like the friendship relationship thing they strike up, and I think it's very interesting. Now that is kind of sacrificed in place of a more I don't want to, you know, like, I don't want to say twist ending, but basically that plotline sacrificed for an ending featuring Silver St. Cloud, and their relationship comes to a head, and it all builds up to this climax in the book, which I enjoyed when I read it, but I saw it coming a mile away, and I'm sure anybody else reading it will probably see it coming as well. And I just felt like maybe, you know, you could have gone a different route with it. You didn't need a twist ending. You could have just rounded off both the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Silver St. Cloud, and also Batman and Baphomet, and have both those relationships collide. I thought that would have been more interesting, but that's not to say the Widening Gyre isn't a good book. I do recommend it. If you enjoy Cacophony, you'll enjoy Widening Gyre. Cacophony is more accessible, more pulpy, more fun. Widening Gyre is a bit more, I don't want to say grown up, but a bit more thoughtful. I just didn't quite enjoy it as much. I don't think it's the sum of its parts, but I did enjoy it. And I believe Kevin Smith's writing a third part of his trilogy to round everything off, and after the ending of this one he kind of needs to. I'm looking forward to see where he goes with it, but I do thoroughly recommend both these books. Like I said, I think Cacophony is the better of the two, and I prefer the ending of Cacophony as well. I think it's very interesting where they go with it. Like, how can this new supervillain, you know, Batman asks himself, where does this guy live? Does he reveal himself to anyone? And you get a glimpse into this serial killer's life, and it's very interesting. There's no such kind of reveal in this, just a kind of tacked on twist ending, which I thought was unnecessary. But I do recommend both books. Don't listen to the negative reviews about Cacophony, because it is very good. The Widening Gyre could have been better, but it's still amicable. I'm looking forward to the third one, and thoroughly recommend both the Batman stories by Kevin Smith.